If you're anything like me, you like scouring the internets for hours at a time, researching things that don't necessarily matter, and in the metal niche specifically, I do enjoy going on a variety of forums and Reddits and archives and a variety of posts in the underbelly where you get to see the best and the worst of what this community has to offer as a brother and sisterhood. And one of the things that has been passed around since the beginning of time, not just with metal, but all types of music, is a claim you will hear often. Politics don't belong in music. Politics don't belong in metal. You'll hear this on comment sections, you'll hear this on forums, you'll see people complain about politically heavy bands, and I just want to sort of dispel this and snap for a second in the sense of that is an idiotic statement and you sound like an imbecile if you say something along those lines. The only time, an exception, that I think politics should not be interlaced with music is if you are pushing an extremely radical ideology. I'm talking things like the NSBM scene where you are clearly pushing an ideology on unsuspecting people that is very harsh, that is incredibly violent, that is promoting pure malevolence and hatred. But if you look at a band that is simply pushing some sort of political movement or some sort of ideology or some sort of socio-political commentary in their music, is that really affecting you that much? If you care that much, just find another band like them to listen to, or if you like the band enough, it shouldn't matter. You should still enjoy the music. That shouldn't take away from the fact that the music is good. If you push away a band solely because their political ideology doesn't align with your own, I think that's pretty damn shallow. Just because a group isn't pushing your specific narrative and blue pilling or red pilling or black pilling or whatever fucking pills you have been ingesting politically, pushing that narrative, that in my opinion is not a way to push it away. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, such as if there is an ideology that is so in contrast to your own that you simply cannot separate that. Say, I'm talking like a Varg, like Burzum, maybe you just hate the amount of church burnings and the anti-Christianity and the classical paganism and those types of things. I can maybe understand that, but even at that point, just because something is opposite does not mean that it shouldn't be something listened to. And if you want to go out of metal, for literally hundreds of years, politics have had something to do with music. If you go back to the courts, it had something to do with music. If you go back to the classical era, it had things to do with politics. And if you go back to, say, the punk scene, that was an incredibly progressive, radical type of genre. If you go back to early rock music, the counterculture that was associated even with a heavily publicized band like the fucking Beatles, they were a counterculture band in many ways. There were so many people who critically panned them from things that people didn't like. Elvis Presley got a lot of these things by older people. So politics have been involved with music forever. And if you go to some of the most popular artists in history, some of the best artists in history, Jimi Hendrix, David Bowie, Bob Dylan, Michael Jackson, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, all of these people had these political ideas put into their music because, and let me take my hat off because I don't think people understand this, people write about things they're passionate about. Do you literally want a Christian to come on a mic and be like, oh yes, I love Satan? Do you want an extreme right-winger or an extreme left-winger to come on and talk about the opposite ideology? Why is this so surprising? That's like looking at a band like Cattle Decapitation, which has a lot of very leftist ideas and a lot of vegan ideas, and telling them to write a song about scarfing down meat. We write what we love. We write what we're passionate about. And to think that that shouldn't be put into our music when it's such a heavy thing that impacts all of our lives, it is just stupid and it is petty. I could go on with this for a very long time, but what are your thoughts of this topic? Do you think politics should be involved in music? What are your thoughts of politics in music? Do you listen to bands that don't share your specific ideology? I would love to know your thoughts of it. Be sure to like this video. Otherwise, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Moore's Third View Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.